Hi, everybody, and welcome to part two of me talking about my past, things about my past behavior, like several things, several of my faults in the past, like several of the things I've said and done wrong in the past, so I don't dwell on them. So, me being open about my past mistakes and trying to and hopefully provide an outlet and a piece of advice to my audience, viewers, of what not to do and how not to act in the how not to act, like specifically how not to act in your youth, so you don't dwell on it later on, and so you don't question your integrity, like how I often do because of like my past behavior, and like so you don't, and so just like just me talking about just talking about my mistakes, like things I've said and done to other people, and like how it affected them, and how I am trying to compensate for like the things I've done wrong to people, and like how I am trying to move on from that. Like I know the people I've done the wrong to have moved on, but most of them have moved on. But like the effects it had on me, and like the effects it had on them, but like how I feel not only guilty for it, but also how even after I've done them, it's still a really serious thing for me, because I just want to get this out and and be open about it, because that's what a good influencer should do. Be open about your past, your mistakes, even if they happened in the past. So without further ado, let's continue where the last video left off. So I already mentioned the first four friends I had, who a lot of the people, like I said, a lot of the people that I mistreated in the past are females, and so yeah, I was like, so that's what makes my past behavior all the more appalling, all the more negative, all the more bad, because like most of them were female, and so I went out of my way to make them feel either uncomfortable, make them feel offended, make them feel uncomfortable, offended, or just not good. I went out of my way to make them feel like that, and it was not okay. Even though like a lot of them, even though all four of the ones I mentioned so far, I have long made amends with in some way, or at least in some way I have made resolution with. It still wasn't okay of how I treated them. It wasn't okay at all. Like it made me look sexist with how I treated them, how I acted around them, how the things I said to them, me not respecting their personal space, and not respect, and just being annoying, and me just being insufferable, me being annoying, obnoxious, and insufferable, and not being able to see what I mean, I did see, but like I didn't fully see until after I did the thing, until after I said or did the things that, not did things, but like mostly said the things, or like my behavior is just not okay under any circumstances. Since so now that I've talked about those those four girls that I've mentioned, I guess it's time to move on to to the next person to talk about. This one this one was just like really this was like this friend next friend I'm going to talk about. This one was really crucial to me because this was like the first major fallout that I've had. The first major fallout that I've had with a friend. It like it happened. I'm a year older. I'm a year older than my friend. I've lots of friends who I'm older than. Like so many. But anyway, I was old. I'm this friend. I'm a year older. I'm a year older than her. I met her. This was like the first major fallout that like actually affected me because I mean even though the four I mean even though the first four females I mentioned I did see like what I did wrong with them. I mean, at least more so now than I did before. Um, this one was like the first one that made me see that what my actions, how my actions are affecting others, and and the consequences of my actions, the consequences of like what they do when I treat people like that. And so like this friend I met in middle school. I met her in gym class. I was introduced to her by my assistant teacher who introduced me to this girl since I was like standing alone by the bleachers in gym class doing nothing while everybody else was playing and moving around. And and like and truth be told, and to tell the truth now, since our friendship is down the is in the sewer now. Um, at first I felt weird that my teacher, that my helper teacher, at first my arrogant ass felt weird that my in my mind felt weird that my helper teacher picked out a friend picked out a friend for me or me like but as time that was just me that was me at first I had preconceived notions about her, me being me. I shouldn't. That was already a sign. Even back then, even as as a kid, I was still kind of a jerk. Not kind of. Okay, not kind of. I was a jerk, but but as time went on, I gradually grew to appreciate her as to see that we had so many things in common. We both liked we both liked Little Shop of Horrors. We both liked Studio Ghibli movies. We both liked she introduced me to Panic at the Disco, one of my favorite bands. Um at first I wasn't a huge Panic fan, but when she sang Death of the Bachelor in the middle school talent show that I when I saw her sing that at in the talent show, I was like I was in awe. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And she was dressed up all fancy in a fedora. It was marvelous. And so she also introduced me to Will Wood, the indie musician who I have the same birthday as. And um so but I gradually grew on to like her. Plus we met in gym class, but we were also in choir club together. That's how our friendship grew. And so and so we talked to each other a lot and all that. And ow, sorry, this bracelet pinched me. And we talk and talk and talk, and um we became good, and we became friends. And after that one previous, okay, I'm sorry, it wasn't like four previous, the previous females I mentioned, they weren't four, it wasn't four of them, it was five of them. I know it's a lot, but like after the four, after like the fallout, after not fallout, but after like me and this, but after like, and so like, and so we even exchanged numbers. Like um and after after I discovered that, like, after I discovered that when we both entered high school, after I discovered that, like, that one previous girl in my grade that I mentioned, when I found out she had a boyfriend, at when I found out that she had a boyfriend, and after I made amends, and after I made amends with her and became friends with her then at the time boyfriend in the process, I decided to like I decided to pursue I decided to pursue this girl because because we because not only did we have each other's number, but we also had a lot more in common, since, like I said, we liked a lot of the same things and a lot and all of that. So like I decided to like I mean, for 2 years I had to spend like my freshman my freshman and sophomore years in quarantine, like most of the schools at the time. And so for those 2 years, me hoping that I might have a chance at a relationship um with this girl, like, kept me going. It kept me motivated during each hard moment, during each time when I felt like when I felt like everything was hopeless, when I felt emotionally, when I felt whenever I'd feel physically and emotionally numb. But me thinking of having a relationship with this girl kept me in hope. Because because I know I said this already, but I just want to make this clear. After I discovered that girl in my grade had a boyfriend, I decided I just and after all the devastation that I went through and finding that out, I moved on. I let go and moved on because, like, I thought I'd have a chance with this other girl. And so and so and plus I like I also and plus I also liked I really, and when I say I grew to like her, I like literally grew to like her. Like, I liked her. Like, she was course like she is the sweet, like the previous girls I mentioned, like the previous girls I mentioned, she is a really nice person. She's sweet, she's loyal, she's patient. I mean, up until like what I did, she was really patient, and like she's really passionate about many things. Like, super passionate. Like really. I hope she wanted, like most of the people that I've met in this lifetime, she wants to do to go into nursing and medicine. Like most of people that I've met, like most females that I've met who are passionate. Sorry. But anyway, like I said, even though, like I said, even during moments where I felt like mentally and emotionally numb, she kept me thinking about her, kept me going. And I even and quarantine even though quarantine was lonely for the most part, I I text her almost daily, and I and so I wouldn't feel lonely anymore. So um and so like that so that thought like really so like that thought like really kept me up hope. And so like I saw her again for the first and like even and like I hadn't seen her like in a whole year in 2020. And so in the summer of 2021 in band camp, I saw her again for the first time in I saw her again for the first time in a year. And like I I started I started talking and when we talked again, I even though I'm a really shy person I'm a really shy person. Like most people, I'm really shy and really awkward. But like still when I saw her again for the first time, I was still happy to see her. It was so not only was it summer and I was finally free of the work and all the stress and the health issues that I was going through in fall and winter, but like I finally seen my best friend again. So like, and texting her in the summers was like a highlight of mine. And so like, I'm sorry, I need some moments to think. And so like, and then like 2 months later, we also saw each other again in a comic book program that the middle that like the that like the school was having about comic books and comic book characters, and she introduced me to her brother. And so the next thing you know, me and her, we eventually we were both in high school. I'm a year older than her, so I already was in high school. But like I entered my junior year and she entered her sophomore year, and so I and so I was actually happy to be back in school. I hate it, even though hate school. Specifically, I hate my school because of its messed up system. I I was happy to be back there because I was finally back amongst people, and not I could finally see my friends again, and I was like amongst people. So there was that. And um So, um, it's all a blur. Um, I still continued texting her because like we were still friends at this point. Um, and at lunchtime, uh, and we had the same period lunch, and so I sat down with her and her friends, and I have some good memories about that. I had good memories about that. I already so like I've covered mostly my not relationship but friendship with this ex friendship with this one girl. So I guess I might as well get to like what it actually has to do with this video, since the video is titled My Regrettable Past. So like cut to there would be times when I was sitting at lunch table, and um sometimes she wouldn't be there, because like she wouldn't always be there because she had things to do, like, and sometimes I would be angry about this. Um, I had anxiety. Like I said, I had really severe social anxiety, and I'm socially awkward. I still am socially awkward, but like, at the time, like socially awkward and insecure. So like, I so much so that I had to like meditate. I practiced meditation during my junior year to like calm down, be calm when I'm socializing with certain people. And like like I said, there'd be sometimes when she couldn't come to the lunchroom, and so like that would agitate me sometimes. And like some and so like I would be agitated. Like I already said agitated, but I would be annoyed because like I was growing, because like the previous friend I had, when I discovered she had a boyfriend, I was growing on and on obsessed. I was developing an unhealthy obsession with her, because like I'd see some of the people in my grade or in other grades, like with their with their partners, holding hands, cuddling, kissing, and I was just like, I wanted to be a part of that. I just want to be a part of that too. Like, and so like, and so also, I was also, and I guess also in my own non-ego slash self-absorbed mind, like I was just like, it's been 2 years. It's been 4 years since we started knowing. It's been 3 or 4 years since we known each other. Why isn't anything happening? Why isn't that us? And so like I just developed this unhealthy thing with her. Like um there's one conversation we had um in October, where she said, um where we were talking where me and her friends were talking about like having children, and she said, and she said and then she said something about maybe, I still don't know for sure, so I'm just saying maybe, where she said something, I don't, because I don't want to be invasive like more than I already was back then, where she said something about like possibly being bisexual. And so like, and so that kind of like, that like kind of put me off for a second. Not for a second, but like I was kind of surprised by that, and I was like, and I was just like, at first I just jokingly brushed it off because she didn't mind that at the time. That time she didn't mind that because like I said, she's a really sweet and patient person. And then one day, well, this one day, one of my ex friends, this older guy who like got held back. He was in my grade, like, but he got held back. Um, he thought she was my girlfriend. I mean, I wish she was, but she wasn't. But like he thought she was, and he would jokingly say, "Hey, Roy's girlfriend," and she didn't mind that. She wasn't pissed off, but like she just kindly said, "We're not in a relationship." And at the time, I was just like, okay, but like I said, as time grew, I just went on to become more and more obsessed with her. Now, since I knew we weren't in a, even though we knew each other for like 3 years up until that point, I still like had a growing obsession over her because like I was like, I was like, so these 3 years we built up talking and talking, and now there's nothing between us. Like and like my obsession was like growing on and on, like, and so after Christmas break, it was a long, and after Christmas break, this is where my obsession like reached the extreme. And this is like where I truly started. This was like the first time I got into trouble since freshman year. Or I think more fittingly, the first time I've ever been reported for anything since freshman year. I this was when I developed this weird ass obsession with um this is when I developed a weird obsession with bestiality. I wasn't actually I was I'm not actually that I am, like, I don't know. I mean, I do know. I both do and don't know at the same time what enabled my mind to do that. But like, I guess it was that like a lot of the people that like I researched and watched at the time like were practiced bestiality or were into bestiality, like Tom Green, Jeffrey Dahmer, Shane Dawson. I didn't actually watch Shane Dawson, but like I don't actually like Shane Dawson, but like I do, I mean, I do occasionally watch some of his videos, but like not as actual not I don't actually like him. I only watch his videos when I for research to research on why he's the way he is, on his backstory. And I became obsessed with the concept of bestiality and like thinking about it and bringing it up to people. And I would like, and whenever and when I'd be with my friends, not random people, but when I'm with my friends or I was talking to my friends, I would like nonchalantly bring it up. I would nonchalantly ask them if they're attracted to animals. I know that's like weird. That's like not, no, not weird, like messed up in the head. like um really really messed up. And so and so like and so and so I and so with this one girl, I like brought it up to, I mean, I didn't bring it, I didn't just, when I would be sitting with her friends, with her and her friends, I would, excuse, I would